Experiment.
All right. Now we're
Damn.
live. Now we're live, boys.
Welcome
Now
to
we're live.
welcome to do that thing you just
Yeah,
did.
do that. Get that hype
Hey
up.
man, welcome to Crypto Night School. We talk about crypto, blockchain, NFTs, the whole shebang. I'm Jawan, aka J Boogie. This is my dog Jimmy, aka Professor Sticks, and my dog Courtney, aka Canucks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're live on YouTube.
I can't believe you didn't say Bitcoin. That's disrespectful.
And Bitcoin. We need this. We need the sound deck.
Definitely got to get the sound deck going eventually. But this is the first one, the first live show on YouTube because, the Degens have been doing live shows on Twitter, the Twitter Spaces, the Discord channel. But before we get into everything, let's do just a quick housekeeping thing. Guys, we got to do this for the algorithm. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button on your way in. I see we got 3 people in chat right now, so please hit that like button. Help this video get into the algorithm. Let other people know that we're out here having a good time, and we're about to learn a lot of interesting things. I feel like the title, like, it starts off good, and then it's just like it goes downhill in terms of like news wise. It's like ExxonMobil mining Bitcoin, and then it's like rug pull hack.
You have to give. Everybody has something that everybody has a flavor. So we're Baskin Robbins. So that's what we're doing over here.
All right, so real quick, let's talk about the market real quick because everybody wants to know how much money is being made, how much money is being thrown around. Courtney, I actually like the way you did the analysis. So, break the market down for us real quick.
You guys like my analysis? My analysis is crucial. I pull no punches. So let me share my screen. All right, this is Coin Market Cap. So don't fact check me. Blame Coin Market Cap if it's off. Total crypto market right now, 2.1 trillion, down 1.35%. But I don't know where that came from. It must be some of those crazy 1 penny coins that y'all be buying. But the things
Courtney, hold on. Can you go up for a second?
What's good?
Do you see Will Smith Inu?
No way.
What is that? What is that?
Whatever it is, it just hit a 22 bagger. Wow.
Holy. I'm sorry. I saw that and I was like,
whoever
what
made that
is
coin,
this?
Perfect timing.
That's every meme in one.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
So do you think,
ahead.
but the question is, did it exist before Saturday?
There's no way.
Or Sunday.
There's no way.
I'm gonna click on this joint real quick. Let's see. Hold on. How do I find out when this was created? There's not much data on this. Probably because it's brand new. Where's the chart?
That's probably not a good sign.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Let me go all time.
If you're watching now,
bro, look at this.
This thing literally was created at 3 a.m.
Holy.
Somebody made a boatload of money off of this.
That's crazy. Well, welcome to crypto.
How much was traded?
Man,
what's that volume like?
It says the market cap is 0. I don't think there's a lot of data on this because this is just one of those garbage.
This is a complete trading volume. 1.9 million.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
What are people doing?
This is called degenning.
Facts.
I believe that's what that is.
Wow.
That's fact. If you're in the chat, and you own Will Smith Inu, let us know why you invested.
That's crazy. No financial advice.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's continue. Let's finish the housekeeping real quick before you jump into anything else.
My fault.
Real quick, because I feel like it's gonna get hot. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. This is just education. You gotta fact check. You gotta go do your own research. Get your Dior. Do your own research. You know what I'm saying? And just like Courtney said, don't trust Verify.
Bet.
All
So
right.
let's get to this. All right. So Granddaddy Bitcoin is up about 11% over the last 7 days. ETH up 13%. Of course, you got this Vaporware up 20%. We got Luna up 14, Solana 19, AVAX 7%. The Doge community is celebrating a little bit. Their bags up 15% ish. Shiba's right behind with 13, and probably some other stuff in here that somebody cares about. But the lower you go, the less I really give a damn. So, quick shout out though. What we got in stacks?
Yes, sir.
9.6%. That 1.3 billion market cap slowly climbing. But it's been a good time for
Where
crypto.
my Staxies at?
It's good though because man, crypto has been hit hard over the last few months. So it's like a little bit of a relief rally, man.
Absolutely.
So what's the news? What's the latest in the world of crypto?
Well, I mean, we could get started with something hot off the press. I mean, everybody's kind of familiar with play to earn, NFT gaming, stuff like that. Axie Infinity is probably one of the biggest play to earn games out there right now. And I'm not too familiar with the back end things of it. I'm a gamer and a content creator, but obviously when a hack happens and $600 million or $500 million goes missing, what I'm saying, Twitter goes crazy. And so I seen guys like Bryson asking like, yo, what's your take on the hack and stuff? So I see Courtney also drop that into the Discord, and I'm like, yo, what is this? So I have to go quickly look, and somebody had hacked the Ronin bridge, ran off with a whole bag of money. I thought about quitting my day job and just learning how to just code and figuring out how to make smart contracts right at that moment, because I'm like, bro, mans are getting money very quickly. But obviously this hits the community hard. So Courtney, I know you know a little bit of something about what's going on. Break down a little bit about that Ronin hack.
Yeah, so long story short is some of the funds were saved. All right, so that's a spoiler alert. But this is something that happened 6 days ago and no one noticed until today. So that's the crazy part. But just to understand how this hack went down, we first have to understand what is Ronin and what is a bridge. So Axie Infinity is one of the most popular play to earn games where people buy these little creatures and they fight them. So the game, obviously, it takes a lot of actions happening where you're fighting or you're buying stuff or you're using potions. And so on the Ethereum blockchain, the gas fees were getting too high. People weren't really able to enjoy the game the same way. So the company who created this game built their own side chain. All right. So the side chain is another place where it's not on Ethereum mainnet, but it was a place called Ronin, right? Where it uses some of the security of Ethereum to save things, and it has Ethereum assets, but it has lower gas fees because they're doing all their own validation of all the transactions and whatnot. So in order to get your assets from Ethereum to Ronin, you got to cross a bridge. Now, what's a bridge? A bridge is basically you put something in on one side and then they give you something that matches that on the other side, but it's not the actual asset. So if you were to put ETH into the Ronin bridge, then on the other side, you would get some kind of Ronin-esque ETH, right? But it's not true Ethereum, right? It's the true Ethereum stays in the bridge locked up so that when you want to withdraw, you put in that, placeholder ETH and you get the real ETH out of the bridge. Now, what actually happened? Because I told you they're in a place where the gas fees were much lower, it's because they're using their own validators instead of the Ethereum ones to validate all these transactions. And they had this security measure where they needed to have 5 out of the 9 validators authenticate any big transactions, right? Now, you might be like, okay, 5 out of 9, that sounds pretty safe. But these dummies had 4 of the same private keys held with one company, and then the 5 others were spread out. So technically, you only really needed to have access to 2, because if you compromise the main company, that's access to 4 of the private keys right there, and you only needed to get 1 more. So what they did was they didn't necessarily really hack into anything, except there was just exposed data on some of these validator nodes, some of these computers that are checking all the transactions and keeping a chain, the blockchain that's for Ronin. They had their own blockchain. All that info in there. Somebody found a way to get in the back door and go into those validators and get the private keys, and then pretend they were somebody legitimately withdrawing their ETH, but they just sucked it straight out of the bridge and ran off with the bag. They had $625 million worth of crypto that they ran off with. All right. Yes. So that's like, I mean, that's up there with the biggest hacks of them all. And really, it was one of those things where immediately they went to the feds. Like, guys, don't worry. Don't worry, we're gonna get your money back. We've called the authorities and they're tracking it down. Now, the crazy thing was, people were saying that the ETH was withdrawn to an FTX account or a Binance account or something like that. And people would say, like, isn't that KYC? Don't you have to give your driver's license or passport to open one of those accounts? But one thing that often happens is people will pay someone else for their account. So it might not actually be the true person. Regardless of how it shook out, some of the funds they ran off with, they put them into some other DeFi protocol. And there's ways that you can, make transactions happen where you can follow the money for sure. But then at a certain point, you can't be sure who is the person on the other side if the money stays in DeFi the whole time. But a lot of the funds were returned, and the rest of the funds are sitting in that address and they're just watching them. So we'll keep an eye on this one. But man, Axie Infinity crowd, I'll tell you this much. It's cool to have a play to earn game that's on the blockchain. But this exemplifies that a blockchain is meant to do one thing really well, and it's to have a decentralized record of all the transactions that happen. But if you only have 9 or 10 nodes on your network, that's not very decentralized. And so that's a point of attack for somebody. Like, do you know how many nodes are on the Bitcoin network? You might have known, because I throw these numbers around a lot, but it's upwards of 13, 14, 15,000 nodes. Each single node is a computer that keeps the entire record of what's happening, validating every single transaction. These guys had 9. They had 9. So, I mean, obviously they're not trying to make the world's hardest money. They're trying to make a video game. Yeah. Cool. But when you got $625 million worth of assets and you're using bridges with known security risks, I think it's time for us to reconsider some of our cryptography and some of our security measures that we're taking with these huge amounts of money in these honeypots.
Yeah, I think it's a huge hit right now on kind of the innovation in the gaming space for like play to earn, because it's kind of hard right now for a lot of games to kind of take off, and Axie Infinity being like one of the biggest games. And I hear a lot of content creators in that space saying like the game is dying out. I'm not sure if does this hit it on a playing community level, or is this just a financial hit?
Well, initially they found out that this happened because somebody tried to withdraw like $5,000 worth of ETH off the bridge and they were having trouble doing it. So it hurts the community because it hurts their faith that they can safely deposit some of their capital into this smart contract or whatever it is, this bridge, and know that if they wanted to get it out, they could get it out. Is it a black hole? Is it a black eye? Is it something where when something goes in, it's never coming out? Or is it just, man, we learned our lesson and we'll move forward in a better way? They did come out and say, look, we understand there's been an exploit. We're looking into it. Everybody's money is going to be safe. We're going to make everybody whole. So that gives you some confidence. But at the same time, Vitalik, the guy who's more or less responsible for all of this stuff, he built Ethereum. Like, he's the first guy. He's been very adamant about saying, we're not going to have cross-chain protocols because bridges are a humongous vulnerability. And as long as you need multiple people to sign a transaction to get through a bridge, those people could be co-opted or hacked, right? You need to have some kind of trustless bridge that works completely off of just code talking to each other and no people involved because humans make mistakes.
Facts.
And there's other humans waiting for humans to make mistakes, which is why this got taken advantage of.
I mean, but what are they going to do now though? Because you can only take out so much money at a time. Like you can't even put that through Tornado. Maybe you could put it through Tornado Cash, which is basically like a mixer for Ethereum. But like you can only withdraw a certain amount at a time. You couldn't take out that whole 625 million in one shot because people are going to notice.
Red flags.
Huge red flag. There's not that much liquidity in Tornado Cash. I don't know specifically how much there is, but you're going to put up mad red flags when you do that.
When you funnel money through Tornado Cash, I know it goes to a wallet that you intend it to go through too, but does it all go to that one wallet, or can it go to multiple wallets that you set up, like that you have control over?
I'm gonna be G with you. I never used it, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that when you put it in, you get some kind of like number, which is like when you put your coat in the coat check.
Yeah.
And so when you come back, you know which coat was yours. So you put your stuff in there and they give you a number. And when you go back, you put that in and you could withdraw from your balance. So you don't have to take it all at once.
Got you. Because this comes into play later. So
right.
Just kind of wanted to see your
right. See, the thing that I mean, and I never did this, never thought of doing it.
Never had to do it.
And I should say that nobody else should do it because damn it, the feds are smarter than you.
Yeah.
So don't even try it. But what people try to do is like they'll wash crypto and then they'll go and buy some kind of NFTs and then they'll list the NFTs for sale and then they'll buy them from a ghost account, but it's actually still them. But you know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to just basically, it's money laundering. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But that's in the blockchain world, every transaction is transparent. So good luck.
Yeah. And now like the feds are, they're more aware of these things and these techniques. They've probably been aware of them, but now like people are getting caught and people are getting in trouble. And with something like the blockchain that's a public ledger for transactions, like it's more transparent than ever. So if you're thinking of rugging or if you're thinking of hacking, you better be good.
Don't
do it.
Yeah.
Do
not do it.
First
of all, it's
Google
not worth
Google
it
chain analysis and then think twice.
All right. So I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that play to earn is dying right now?
I don't think it's dying. I just think it was like such a great idea that everybody got excited about it, but no one knows how to do it right. All the games suck. Like straight up, at the end of the night, I'm not thinking like, yo, I cannot wait to battle Axes. Like, nah, dog. I'm picking up a first person shooter and I'm playing Apex Legends, or I would rather play COD or Fortnite than play a strategic turn-based, basically glorified version of DeFi, but animated. Now, I will say though, there's a lot to be said for incentives, because if I know that I'm making money doing something, it all of a sudden becomes a lot more fun, because I sure as heck used to play Minesweeper. I used to play Solitaire on the computer when that's the only games that they had on there. I used to play Brick Breaker, Snake. And you're telling me if I could play Snake and earn $5, yeah, I'll play that. But they haven't come out with a title that stands alone as a game without that PDE backing that makes you really want to play it. Whoever cracks that code is going to be the one to really dominate the market, because it's not about getting rich. It's about just having a bonus incentive.
Put your hand down, JB.
No, I was just trolling.
You in the back.
I was just trolling. And Professor Sticks, this is a question for you, because I personally feel that the person that may crack this code is going to be Dr. Disrespect with the game that he's putting out. I forget what it's called, but the characters, the graphics, like from just the art standpoint, they look cold.
Yo, the artwork looks sick.
The artwork looks sick. And I went through like the application process to like earn a token, or
Yeah.
I in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe early access. Yo, that application was rigorous. Like, they're putting so much thought into this game that it's either going to be super trash, or they're going to be the ones that are going to break the code, like crack the code, and it's going to be fire.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz when he dropped that news that he was going to make it an NFT game, and it's interesting because like it was received with so poorly. Like it was received so bad. And because like he's kind of in like the COD space, a lot of people that are like into COD were like just against it, and they were like, "Nah, man, like we don't see this happening. This is a bad look. It's a money grab." So, he actually explained on his stream that they're looking into ways to prevent people from getting the NFTs and trying to like push the market up, or sell it at a profit where it becomes inaccessible to just regular gamers who aren't trying to make money off of it. It's also interesting too, because like I went through the application too, and the things that they're asking about: do you want access to be able to design maps? Do you want access to be able to design skins? Do you want access to be able to test things out? It seems like this NFT is going to give people access to be able to have a say on the game, and that's something that the industry has been complaining about for a long time. COD, for example, that's a game that I play a lot. People are always complaining on Twitter. But what thing is interesting, and JV, like you say something, and I'm like, I hope it actually does do well, because I didn't know this about Dr. Disrespect until like he announced this, and I was doing some research. This dude used to design maps and design levels for Sledgehammer or for COD. And so he also has people on the team who designed Halo, people who design COD. So if it's a first person shooter with NFTs as skins and for skins and operate and stuff, it could work. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it turns out. We got to let him build it. Shout out. It's called Midnight Society for those who want to kind of like look into it.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, the studio is called Midnight Society. He created the studio because he was tired of trash audio in Warzone and trash gameplays and glitches. So hopefully him introducing NFTs is going to onboard just a ton of people and give him his opportunity to make mistakes. But I think it's interesting though, because like when you say somebody needs to crack that code, shout out to another content creator in this space, in the gaming and kind of like NFT gaming space, Bryson. He was saying like P2E is dying because we need to transition, and that we need to actually let it die and transition to play and earn. So instead of play to earn, where you're thinking like, yo, I'm trying to play this game to make money, you're like, I want to play this game, but I also have a potential to earn. And so I actually like that concept, because as a regular gamer who never ever thought about making money in gaming until I realized that you could do that through like making YouTubes as I do right now, it's interesting because nobody actually is like, yo, let me go game for 8 hours to make money. But if you make a game that's fun and you can make money from it, that's an added incentive that keeps people going. But if you focus on just the earning, it does leave kind of like a room for investors and speculators that makes the game inaccessible. And that's kind of what's plaguing the play to earn space right now.
Yo, but I agree with you wholeheartedly, because think about what's happened with Axie. Just to go back to that, the SLP was like the main token that people were earning. SLP, it shot up super high when the game was popular, and so that drew more people in. But because the dynamics of the game and however you create the SLP or however you use it, eventually the price went way down. And so if you came strictly and only to earn, he wasn't earning that much anymore when the price dropped. So if you have an outside motivation, and that outside motivation isn't supported by something that internally is just motivating you, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they pay me a check to go to work every day, but I like what I do. If you don't actually like what you do, then when the check stops coming, you're not even hesitating or waiting around to see it. You're off it. So they got to build these games that are actually intrinsically motivating, and I think they do that by reducing the emphasis on that pay part. You're right.
Yeah. I also like the idea, going back to what'd you say it's called, Midnight Society?
Yeah, Midnight Society. That's the studio.
Shout out to What's that show called? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, yeah,
Tales from
yeah.
the Midnight Society.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah,
it
yeah,
Midnight
yeah. That was on
Society?
YTV, right?
When they used to gather around the campfire and they
I
say
thought it
these are the,
was
the
Tales from
secrets
the Crypt Creep
from the Midnight
Crypt Keeper.
Society, and they throw the smoke. Okay, anyways, go on.
Okay, I didn't watch that show. I was too
But
scared. But anyways,
real quick,
moving on.
sorry, JB, before you go, Muhammad in chat says, is it pay to play or pay to win? I'm assuming you're talking about just like play to earn games in general. Let me know in the chat real quick.
Yeah.
NFT, NFT games in general. In some cases, yes, it is pay to win because, for example, there's a game called Cyball. It's kind of like it's like a 3v3 player versus player. I want to say soccer game, but it's NFT games right now, so they're not really actually playing soccer. It's based on attributes, right? So if you get a gold tier, let's say a gold Bored Ape, it's gonna have more traits than like a bronze regular for NFT. So if you have the money and you can buy better characters, you're gonna more likely win those matches. So sometimes it's play to earn, pay to win, pay to win. But there are mechanics in some of these games that kind of level out the playing field. But that's like the balance that these games have to kind of figure out because, people do want to pay to get an advantage sometimes.
That's what games are now. Right now, games are pay to win mostly. If it's not 100% cosmetic, it's pay to win. But
yeah.
What were we about to say, JB?
Yes, sir.
Well, just going off that point, I wish 2K was play to win or whatever, because I would just buy my character and max him out to 99 instead of just getting him to a 90. But anyways,
you can't just buy VC though, so it is.
You can buy VC, but then you still have to grind it to a 99, which I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was just saying I like the idea of Dr. Disrespect's game by having like kind of like community curated ideas. And then I also wanted to say that I don't understand how the gaming industry hasn't gone into NFTs yet and why they, are so like kind of against it, because Call of Duty, Fortnite, your skins are NFT. We talked about this. Your skins are NFTs, your guns, your gun wraps, whatever it is, NFTs. And people go crazy for that stuff. So if you're looking for proof of concept, it's right there. All we need is a dope game. And those things take time, right? If you're investing in an NFT that has some sort of play to earn game, you're not getting it within the year. At least you're not getting a good version of it. So those things take time. I don't understand why streamers are against NFTs. I'm happy Dr. Disrespect is kind of, trailblazing. I really do hope it does well. And shoot, I might even play it if it's fun.
For real. Not to beat this topic down, because we got other things to talk about, but I would highly encourage people to listen or follow Ryan Wyatt. Is it Ryan Watt? It's Ryan Watt. He was he pretty much built YouTube gaming, pretty much helped Dr. Disrespect, and blow up on YouTube. Or I would say Dr. Disrespect helped YouTube gaming blow up, but Ryan Watt was the kind of like the CEO of that, and he moved to Polygon, which is a blockchain, and they started he's the CEO of Polygon Studio. So they're heavily pushing right now into the creator economy, and they want to push heavily behind games. First, they want to help people make games, and then they want to help creators make money. So when you say like streamers are against it, they're against it now because all of the scams and all of the weird stuff. So they're non-crypto natives, but eventually they're going to have to become crypto natives because this is going to take over. I'll tell you now, Activision is already developing NFT games and how to incorporate NFTs into their gaming. Like Microsoft buying Activision is huge. You already know Ubisoft, they're already in that. EA Games, they're already in that. So eventually the gaming industry is going to move towards NFTs, but the community right now is scared. The community right now is terrified.
I just feel like there's people that are going to sit back and complain about Call of Duty not updating the maps or, whatever glitches, hackers, or there's people that are going to, do something about it. And I feel like Dr. Disrespect is doing something about it.
Man, these games aren't going to let everybody just take their assets anywhere, though. They're going to have NFTs. That's my opinion. Like, think about how long it took for us to be able to play cross-platform.
Exactly.
Like, and you have to give anything to anybody. Think about how long it took for them to be like, you bought our game from us on PlayStation. You cannot play with your friends on PC or Xbox. Like, it just happened within the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
I don't give them too much credit because they have to capture as much revenue as possible. They answer to shareholders and board members. So unless the NFTs are completely cosmetic, I would say like they don't allow the individual to accrue too much value in the secondary market, then I say they do it. Otherwise, I think it's all notional.
It's all buzzwords right now. Yeah.
Literally, that's what I mean. Like by notional, it's like just something they're saying so that they can like, yeah, it's that, right? You're excited about that? Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, yo. Let's move on. What you guys want to talk about next? Y'all want to get into the nitty gritty ExxonMobil mining, or
I mean, what else is there to talk about? I'm always down to talk about Bitcoin.
because if we let Courtney go, he's gonna go. So
Oh,
I
no,
feel
no,
like
no.
JB.
I might
No,
shut
no.
it down.
Don't
I
let
might
him
shut
go.
it down.
Yeah,
Don't let him
JB
go.
go.
Don't
JB,
let him
do your
go.
thing.
And I told you I was gonna rug. I told you. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I rug. Anyways, let me take you guys down a little path that I've been going down for the last week. Who has heard? Have you guys heard of Frosties NFTs?
Why did you hit that from Family Guy? Who?
Have you heard of Frosty? Cool quip. Have you heard of Frosty NFTs?
Nah, I
Okay.
only know the NFTs that you showed me.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't heard of Frosty NFTs was a highly anticipated project starting off in 2022. Let me pull up the art for you so I can paint a picture.
And while he's pulling up the art, make sure you guys hit that like button real quick. I see 7 people chilling. Appreciate you guys in chat showing some love, chatting it up. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please.
Boom. All right, you guys see these, right? This is Frosty NFT.
Okay, I see
right?
you.
You know,
Those
decent
are
little
nice.
art. Yeah,
Okay,
nice
I
art,
see.
you know, nice colors. So everybody was pretty hyped for these. Start of 2022, they mint out, right? But first they have a little problem with their mint, to where there was like a whole bunch of gas wars. People were losing out on gas. So the project went and they reimbursed everybody for their gas. So everybody's like, cool. Thank you, devs. Devs did something. Awesome, right? So as soon as they mint out, Discord, gone. Website, gone. Twitter, I'm sorry. The founders tweeted, I'm sorry, right? And I'm not trying to make this like sound like funny or anything, because I know a lot of people lost a lot of money. They ran away with $1.1 million, right? The story gets better. So
I don't know how that gets better.
People, listen. People in the community, and a lot of people don't know about this. I don't know why. There's been so many articles. There's been articles on Vice.
This is an everyday thing in
No,
DeFi.
it's not though. It's not.
Oh, why?
I'm building up.
Oh,
Let me build up.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let him
Okay.
land.
And I hope it works out. I hope this delivery works out. But anyways, okay. So
build this up, bro. You gotta land hard.
The Discord mods, the founders compensated the Discord mods because, you know, they felt like, you know, they worked hard, and I think that they were trying to like look a little less sus. And so they compensated the mods, and then some of the members kind of broke off and started their own Discords, and you know, they started like trying to do research. And what happened was the founders ended up putting the $1.1 million into Tornado Cash, and you know, like Courtney said earlier, kind of funnels into different wallets and just makes it harder to track the amount of money. So next,
Does everybody know what Tornado Cash is? Because I kind of glossed it, but basically it takes a lot of different people's money and shuffles it around and then puts it back so that you can't tell where it came from.
Yeah. So so that happens, and some time goes by, I think like maybe like a couple months, and there's this new project that pops up called Embers, right? Embers looks sick. They have about 30, maybe they have like 60,000 followers on Twitter. This is the website. Really well done, right? The art is decent. You know, you can do some stuff with the whatever layout. So they're minting at, I think, 0.3. So they were going to get ready to, you know, make $1.5 million off this mint. And part of their roadmap, let me go to it. Part of the roadmap right here is donating $50,000 to Red Cross. I don't know if can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So donate $50,000 to Red Cross. I don't know where that is, but whatever. And sorry. So they get to that part of the roadmap. They haven't minted out, but I think it was kind of like a way for them to, like, you know, look like they're legit. But the whole time, it's the same founders from Frosties, right? So these dudes, the whole time, they're anonymous and they were using VPNs. And I'm not sure where they took the money from, but what ended up happening is they ended up donating the $50,000 to Red Cross with their actual names. And then the FBI arrests them.
Wait.
Okay. All right.
So wait.
So basically, what you're saying is that.
So were they trying to come out and confess, but at the same time do the right thing, or like?
No, they were getting ready to rug again. They were gonna rug Embers again.
But I'm saying with the Red Cross joint, they donated.
Oh yeah, that's why I was saying I think it was just a way for them to like get the community to believe that they were like legit founders and like good people
and cleanse their sins.
I mean, whatever, because it was just like how with Frosties, they reimbursed the community for their gas, but then they ended up taking 1.1 million from everybody, right? Wow. So these dudes, these 20-year-old, there's two dudes up for charges. They're facing the maximum, they're facing 2 charges, and the maximum for each charge is 20 years in prison. Goodness. I think it was like intent to let me read it. It was each are charged with 1 count of commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering, and those are a maximum of 20 years if they get the max. So these guys could be coming out of jail at 60 years old, when all they had to do was run a legit project and probably would have made 10 times the money that they did. But instead they wanted to be lazy and try and get over on people, and now they're gonna pay the piper.
That is crazy,
bro.
And just wanted to note that is the first rug pull to have legal ramifications so far. So that's really part of NFT history. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, yo, that's kind of wild though. Like they literally just pretty much snitched on themselves.
That's crazy. Yo, speaking of snitching on yourself, I want to just share something. So this is the statistics on Tornado Cash. Currently, there is 2.7 million ETH inside of it, which is about $6 billion. So I'm sure that you could wash 600 million, but me saying I'm sure is me because I'm not a criminal and I don't care. So take that advice if you want. You might get latched by the police, but yeah, like $6 billion worth of funds inside Tornado Cash. Interesting fact.
What other than hiding your money, what is the benefit of Tornado Cash?
What do you mean? That is literally
money laundering.
100% all it does.
So
and I wouldn't say it's necessary. I wouldn't say it's necessarily always money laundering, but say like everything's public, right? Like if I go and I buy you know, football tickets or buy a big screen TV, like unless you see my credit card, you don't know. But here, because people flex their NFTs and whatnot, especially like if you're on Twitter, for example, and you have the hexagon, that wallet
Chain
address,
snatching.
right? Exactly. You get your chain snatched. You see that wallet address that's on your Twitter. I can look at that address. Then I can see all the other public addresses that you interact with. So I can see maybe that one's not your main address, but maybe that one links back to another one that links back to another one that links back to your main wallet. And I can see what's in there and I can see what you got, you know?
I'm coming
So
for that.
exactly. So that's why most people, if they're smart, when they have like a dummy wallet and they have their cold storage, they don't send from their dummy wallet straight to cold storage. They'll send it to exchange. And then from the exchange, you'll send it to their cold storage because that way the exchange usually has rotating public addresses or they'll have like, common addresses. So you can get kind of lost in the shuffle if you want to preserve some of your privacy. Because at the end of the day, it's not a crime to have your privacy.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what I was getting at. I was like, other than like money laundering, like what is Tornado Cash like really good for? But you answered my question.
Spot on.
Jimmy, what's on the docket?
I mean, JB, you're good.
I'm good. I guess my story didn't hit. It's cool.
Nah, it hit, but I feel like, man, I'm getting rugged. I almost like I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. Let me say that first and foremost. But like, yo, what did y'all think this was, man? This isn't grade school. You're playing in the deep end. You're playing in the deep end. Like, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, shoot, have I been rug pulled? I haven't been rug pulled. I've been hacked, but whatever.
It's inevitable.
It is
if you're doing those activities.
Yeah, but the whole not being doxxed as a founder of a project, I don't see why that's a thing. Like, I don't see any benefit in that for people investing, and those guys not being doxxed the whole time. Like, red flag number one for me.
Well, yeah, and I also think partially sometimes guys don't dox because since crypto is international, there's a lot of different securities laws, financial regulations, certain level of KYC, AML, especially with so much gray area when you don't know what kind of asset a token may be considered. Is it a commodity? Is it a security? Is it, a monetary asset? Like, is it just dollars? Are you going to have mad capital gains to pay? So people sometimes just hide in the shadows to do things so that they could up and leave. But I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I obviously feel more comfortable doing business with somebody who I know who they are.
100%. And I feel like if whoever wants to find you is going to find you if they really want to.
Yeah, but you got to be in their jurisdiction.
That's true too.
But yo, I feel like honestly, this is like the beginning. It's only the beginning. As this space keeps growing, there's, even if you're doxxed, some people don't even think like they're pulling a crime. Like, I was listening to Gary Vee, and he was kind of talking. He said he's talking to a lot of people who are like artists and launch NFT projects, and they're like, yo, I'm gonna make the best artwork. I'm gonna make the best whatever, and then they launch their NFT, and then they're like, yo, I don't know what to do next because they never built a business in their life, and so they're rug pulling, but they don't think they're rug pulling.
It's a soft rug.
So they're so like, I think it's gonna keep happening because even when he was saying like, even when the .com bubble happened, there are mans that built crazy stuff and they couldn't build a business, and then people invested millions of dollars into it, and then they just took off because it's like, yo, I got the millies. I can't keep going.
man, shout out to Mark from Megapont. We interviewed him on the podcast, and literally, I know that running an NFT project, it is a business. Like, you have a product, you have customers. It's just you get all your money up front, and then the rest of the business is how do you manage the customer relationships, and then how do you continue to add value? How do you continue to build and stack technology onto your product so that it's cool and people want to continue to engage with it? But like, talking to him, oh man, he was saying he's got like a team of like 8 to 10 people, and like how much time it takes and the effort and like the thought, and they're thinking like a year or 2 years ahead. It's a complete difference of, yeah, yo, we got some dope art. Yeah, let's throw it in a blender and just pop out all different kinds of eyes and ears and noses, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's a business, and then there's arts and crafts. Arts and crafts are gonna end up inevitably as a soft rug.
Bro, people are paying like 1 ETH for a Happy Meal, basically. Like part of these projects roadmaps.
I had chicken nuggets today. Still.
Listen, part of these roadmaps are like you get
I was
get a
cheesed when the chicken
figurine.
nuggets were $20. I was
listen. People are saying like people's roadmaps are you get this figurine or you get this hoodie. It's like I'm paying 1 ETH for a hoodie. This better be like, you know,
cashmere.
Yes.
Yo.
Like woven with gold.
I heard mans were roasting the Bored Ape or the Mutant Ape merch that came out, even though like I know they're $1 billion organization, but apparently it looked like, you know, like those Zoomies shirts that you get at the mall where they just throw on the they just press on the little thing on the shirt.
That's probably the least of their worries was the merch.
It's frustrating.
They're probably just like, here, take some merch.
Yeah, we're just doing something for the community, but you gotta do something at least.
You know, it's definitely a big bubble, and you know, when the bubble pops, of course some survive, but
right.
I would say a lot of these projects are gonna have fun staying poor.
All right. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. All right. I'm looking at the man. He's ready to go. They call me Professor Sticks, but we're about to introduce Professor Canucks right now, as you guys know him in the Discord. There are big plays happening in the market right now, like big plays. It's funny because like people be like, yo, it's a bear market. And there are literally $1 billion organizations that have been alive for hundreds of years that are making plays in the crypto space.
Yeah, so let's talk about Exxon, this Exxon news that came out. And first of all, I would also like to say that you can share this information with anybody who is convinced that Bitcoin mining is bad for the environment. Okay. The people who have this viewpoint haven't yet done their research. So let me kick you some game real quick. ExxonMobil is the second largest public energy company in the world. Okay. I think the number one is Saudi Aramco. Anyways, this company is like, let me see my numbers, $175 billion market cap. So like, this is not like your neighborhood bakery accepting Bitcoin. All right. This is ExxonMobil. So ExxonMobil does a lot of different things, but one of the things they do, or I'm saying mobile is the gas stations they got, but Exxon, one of the things they do is they drill for oil, and there's a certain type of oil called shale oil, which has a byproduct called methane. Methane is the stuff that comes out when a cow's poo. It stinks, right? It's a natural gas. You can take this natural gas and burn it for energy. So if you have gas line in your house or something like that, or whatever, like natural gas, that's what it is. When they pull shale out of the ground, this is a byproduct. Now, methane is horrible for the environment. It's what they call greenhouse gas, right? Heats up the environment, right? You got carbon dioxide, but you got methane, which is 80 times worse than CO2. So if they're pulling shale out of the ground and the pipelines are full and they can't add any more natural gas into a pipeline to ship it somewhere where it can be used, instead of just letting it off into the atmosphere, they burn the methane on the spot to convert it into CO2, right? Because they don't have nowhere else to go. Like the pipeline's full. The natural gas pipelines are full. So they burn the methane. Now, when they burn this methane, about 93-94% of that gas gets burned and converted into CO2. The other 6 or 7% remains as methane goes out into the atmosphere. Now we're talking about 6 or 7%, but they're second largest energy producer in the world, public energy producer. So that's a whole lot of greenhouse gases going off into the atmosphere. So enter Bitcoin mining. What is Bitcoin mining known for? Takes a lot of energy, right? So what they do is they bring this container, like the thing you see on the back of an 18-wheeler, drop it down wherever the shale is coming out of the ground, and they divert that excess natural gas. Instead of just flaring it off into the air or venting it out, they direct it into a generator, into a motor, and then they combust it, turn it into energy. 99.9% of the methane is then combusted. So that means 0.1% of the methane is now going into the atmosphere instead of 7 or 6 or 7%. And that energy that was wasted, that they were burning and getting $0 for, they are now turning into the hardest asset known to man, which is Bitcoin. So this is something that literally makes sense for everybody who's involved, because since they were going to waste the energy anyways, the Bitcoin miners, they're getting it for the low, the super low. And for the energy producers, now instead of wasting that precious resource that they dug up, they can capitalize on it. And for the green people out there too, you're making the atmosphere a little bit more clean, because instead of releasing methane, you're releasing just purely CO2. So this is like one of those developments. They've been working on it since January 2001. They've been 2021. They've been running a pilot. Also, ConocoPhillips, which is another huge energy company, they've been doing the same thing, and they're looking to expand this internationally. All different places over the world where they have natural gas that they're digging up. I mean, I don't know about you, but to me, this is exciting because the world runs on gas and oil. So if these companies are getting into Bitcoin, that means that there's going to be buyers and sellers of Bitcoin almost everywhere. Now, granted, they're getting the Bitcoin, they're going to be selling it. That's going to be consistent sell pressure on the market. But what it's also going to be is more different places that have liquidity, which is what you need to grow an economy, a Bitcoin economy. So, I mean, the adoption is happening whether people like it or not. And it's going to be a race to see who's going to be last to be like, all right, I'll throw my hat in the ring. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be last, because the game theory says that you might as well get a little, because if you have exposure and somebody else gets exposure, then you benefit. But if nobody catches on, then you don't really miss out because you only had a little bit. But if you have none, then that's the only time when you're vulnerable. So it's like, Bitcoin doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. It's solving energy problems all around the world.
Yo, it's crazy because I just looked at like ExxonMobil, the company. They've been around for 111 years.
Think about that.
So they know what they're doing in the energy space, and it seems like they're the first mover on this. So that means other people are now going to start following suit.
And they're the biggest too. Like it's not like a small mom and pop shop, right? Like they're humongous. So think about what that does for the whole industry. Like they're using semiconductors, they're using computer chips. So if you can onshore some of the production of those semiconductors, that's going to do a lot for the local economy, or actually the domestic economy as well. Right now, a lot of that is produced out in Taiwan by Taiwan Semiconductor. They're like the main people who have a fab, which is basically where they make semiconductors. Intel is starting to produce their own in America. And once that's up and running, I mean, that would be amazing for the domestic economy, because semiconductors are the number one most valuable asset, number one most valuable commodity in the modern world is computer chips. So if you got the computer chips and you got the energy production, pretty much what else can you ask for?
True. Yeah. I think like on a weekly shoot, maybe even on a daily basis, like there's just proof of why Bitcoin is not going anywhere. And like once you realize that, it's like it just becomes so much more clear. So each time I hear stuff like this, like it's not surprising, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like, you know, people are really trying to tap into Bitcoin and you know, get a piece of like this crypto space.
Yeah. And like, how does it help people like us? I am trying to buy and hold personally because when I see like, I saw the tweet. I think you shared it too in the Discord. Like, Terra Luna is buying 300% of every Bitcoin mined every day.
So yo, basically, Bitcoin has a programmatic monetary policy, meaning it's not like someone wakes up every day and says, how much Bitcoin should we pull out of the ground? No, it's programmed that every single block, that's one, every 10 minutes is going to be 6.25 Bitcoin. Every day, 900 Bitcoin, right? Terra or the Terra, whatever, the blockchain, the Luna Foundation Guard, they're buying 10 to 11 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin over the next little while. And to accomplish that, they have to buy like 3,000 Bitcoin per day. And so 3,000 Bitcoin per day is over 3 times the 900 that is produced per day. So there's a constant buyer, or what they call in trading, there's a bid. There's a constant bid for that new Bitcoin that's coming onto the market, which means that, you know, there's not enough to go around. You have to buy it from somebody else. And people who got in early are likely to sell to people who are newer because I've already seen my stuff appreciate. But if I'm new and I haven't seen a gain yet, I'm probably going to hold it. You know what I mean? So what that does is it incentivizes people to hold on for a longer time because shoot, if it keeps going up, then why would I sell now if I think tomorrow it will go up higher? And it's like a compounding effect. It's like a flywheel. So it's good to have buyers and sellers. That creates a healthy market. But when you got a steady bid like the Luna Foundation Guard, and I mean, they said they're going to get 10 billion because the market cap of Luna or from UST right now is somewhere in the teens, like 13, 14, 15 billion. Let that get up to 100 billion. They're going to have to get a lot more Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So these are domino effects. Like these are things that perpetuate themselves. I personally just don't see how you could have zero exposure to this asset class, especially zero exposure to Bitcoin. But that's just me.
Even if you don't, and like this is not financial advice, but even if you don't have Bitcoin exposure, but say like, you know, your holdings, like, you know, shit coins, as they say, if you make a bag off that, highly consider Bitcoin. Not financial advice. This is my opinion, but it just only makes sense. If you go look at the charts go with Bitcoin. So like how can you ignore that?
Yeah, it just depends what your goal is, right? Like some people are trying to accumulate a bag, some people are trying to protect a bag. And I think when you're climbing up the mountain, depending on how far down you are, you might be thinking like, shoot, I gotta swing for the fences on this one. And I think that's how a lot of people fall into the Will Smith Inu and whatnot, right? They're like, shoot, I haven't done anything up to this point, so I need to make up for the past and skip a few years in the future. So you end up taking on more risk than the potential reward. But when you actually start doing the math, the amount that you put at risk compared to the amount that you could possibly gain, you need to look at that ratio. Like if I put up $1 and I lose 100%, I'm not tripping. If I put up $100,000 and I lose 100%, I might be tripping. So the amount of money that you put up, you need to think about, you know, first of all, can I afford to take a hit? How much of a hit can I take? And then how long am I going to be in this? How long has this asset lasted before this point? And do I see it lasting that long or longer in the future? These are all questions you got to ask yourself because, you know, no one man's strategy can fit every person. You got to just make sure that you do what's right for you because you can't borrow conviction. I'm convicted as they come, but damn it, that doesn't rub off on anybody else. You got to do your homework, right? That's the only reason why I know I watch Bitcoin drop. I've only been in Bitcoin for like a year and change, and I already watched it drop 60% like twice. but you can't teach that to somebody. They got to kind of get in it themselves.
This was my first drop, and it was my wife's first drop too. And I'm like, she's like, oh, I almost sold everything. I'm like, no. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Then you just this is a big L. You just gotta ignore it. Ray Charles to that.
Just
Hell yeah.
stick to the strategy, man. DCA into that bad boy because we seen Bitcoin go from 60 to 30 to 60 to 30 like in the course of 18 months or whatever. Actually, we seen it go from like 20 to like 60 to 30 to 69 to 32 or whatever, so it's just like, am I going to spend this today or this year? No. When am I going to spend it? I don't know. Okay, so it's off in the future. So just pretend you don't have it and just slowly accumulate something that is not going to make a dent on your lifestyle.
Where in the chat, it wasn't a question, but it was more of a statement. He said, why sell when you can take out a loan on it?
Talk about macro strategy. Have y'all heard?
Yes.
Have y'all heard?
I was literally just pulled it up. I'm like, yo, we should talk about this. Because
what's the headline say?
Yo, well, I mean, basically, I just Googled Silvergate Bank because Silvergate Bank is the ones that took on or loaned out the money to MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, who, I mean, he's just a genius. Like, he's just a genius. So I just follow geniuses around and try to make the moves they make. And this guy actually put their Bitcoin, collateralized it. I believe they borrowed 100 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. 205 million to buy more Bitcoin.
Crazy. That's what we call leverage, yo. That's what we call leverage, because if he gets margin called, then they take everything. But here's the thing about we gotta learn about loans is that there's different kinds of loans. Some loans are what they call mark to market. That means that every day they calculate the price of the asset that you put as collateral and to see like, are you above the threshold or not of how much collateral you need to have. And if you need to have more, it's called a margin call. And they say, yo, you're below the margin for how much collateral you need to have. Add more collateral to this. Otherwise, we're confiscating your collateral. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you would have if you had, for example, like if you had an equity like stocks. If you had a loan on stocks, right? And the value of your stocks dropped like crazy, you get a margin call, right? But if you have a mortgage, they don't mark that to market every day. So there's different terms of the loan. So you could take that out for 30 years and the market could crash like crazy, go up, crash. You're safe, because it's just the terms of the loan. There's no margin call on that. So I don't know what Michael Saylor has. No one knows the percentage of his loan to value ratio, but the man has been deep pockets, emptying them out, scooping up all the Bitcoins. And he's, if I'm not mistaken, MicroStrategy is like top 3 biggest holders outside of like exchanges that just have wallets for people to have liquidity. Like as a public company, are they not number 1 or number 2 in terms of how much Bitcoin they actually hold?
Let's check this out. Yeah. Number 2. Number 1, Barry Selbert, CEO of Digital Currency Group. And then Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy.
Leveraged long, irresponsibly long, to be honest. The man he's issued equity in his company to dilute shareholders to buy Bitcoin. It was a smart move though, because after he did that, the value of the equity went up and everybody ended up net in the green. He issued long duration debt, which means like debt that doesn't mature for a long time. So basically borrowed money from people with a 0 coupon, which means you don't have to pay no payments on it until it's due. But it's convertible to equity if certain terms happen. He's just pretty much given a master's class in how to navigate capital markets. Like he knows what he wants. He has a software business. There's cash flows, monetizing those cash flows to buy Bitcoin. I think if Bitcoin hits the prices that he thinks, this dude will be so filthy rich. Like he'll literally be able to do anything that he wants. He could probably do anything he wants now, because I'm pretty sure he was early to Apple and all of these other companies in the tech boom of like early 2000s. But like, damn, man, some people just win.
Guess who else is on that list?
That conviction.
Tesla.
Oh, Tesla's out there. Well, where they rank at?
They are second. It actually goes MicroStrategies, Tesla, and then Galaxy
Galaxy
Digital
Digital. Shout out
Holdings.
Mike Novogratz. Shout out my dog. My dog who put me on Luna like a year and a half ago. Mike Novo. Damn.
You guys can get that from decrypt.co or just Google it. You'll see it.
I was gonna
But
say
yeah.
all my friends are Degens, so I don't get put on things that are technically
Doesn't it
good
cheese me? It
investments.
it cheese you that like crypto, like DeFi, NFTs, and Bitcoin to the outside world is the same shit. But like
Yeah, it's not.
if you're in it, like these three groups are like oil and water. They literally do not mix. Like DeFi people are not Bitcoin people, are not NFT people,
Mhm.
are not crypto gaming people. Like it's very rare that you have a blend. Or is it just me?
I mean, if you look at us, we're we're like a microcosm of that because
Yeah.
you're more crypto and I'm more NFTs and Sticks is more gaming, right? With a knowledge on more crypto than NFTs. But shoot, you're learning from me on here. I'm learning from you. I'm learning from Jimmy. Like, but we're like, I think the difference between with us three is we're interested in everything. You know what I mean? We at least have some interest and we think everything plays a part, as opposed to like other people that are just like kind of like brush everything else off, and it's like they only want to stick to what they believe in, which is fine. But I think the more well-rounded you are, the more opportunity you have to, you know, make some big changes.
Yeah. And like I feel whoever can bridge it all, because that's what we need. That's what we need. We need somebody to bridge it all so that the average person can find something in a very user friendly place. Cause like there's a reason why people go to, the YouTubes or the social media platforms and stuff. It's because you get all yo, dog, do you know people do Google searches on TikTok?
Huh?
No, I
Yes.
did
Wait,
not.
And take
wait.
me in because I said Google searches because in our language, we have not like Google search is a thing that we use in our language, right? Like you're like,
They
yo, just
own
go
it.
Google it, right? People Google search on TikTok. So what people do now is like if they want to get a recipe, they search it on TikTok. If they want to learn about something, they search it on TikTok. That's what the younger generation is doing right now, bro. So if whoever's out there that's creating these platforms, whether it's Stacks, Polygon, whatever it's on, that you want to onboard people, they have to be able to bridge DeFi, gaming, NFTs, or whatever is next in that so that users who are just the average Joes can find what they're looking for in that one easy to use place. I don't think it's gonna be Facebook. I hope it's not Facebook, but I do
Facebook is
hope.
dead to me, fam. Yo, Facebook is like a deadbeat, like family member that like what I don't know. I don't have deadbeat family members, so I don't know why I go on there, but like it's how I would imagine it to be. Like, yo, I once knew you so well and you changed. I
Changed up.
hate you. You're not invited in my house. Anyways, I don't even have Facebook on my phone or none of that. And a man the other day I saw on Twitter, he said, yo, I changed my phone and I don't have the automatic password login anymore. And Facebook is asking for my passport. I'm like, passport? What the
I'm
hell they
off
need your
it.
passport for? You can't just forgot my user and user email.
That's wild.
You can't do a two-factor
Passport?
authentication thing. You can't,
What
bro.
happened to the I'm not a robot test where you click the
Oh
boat
no, I hate
images?
Mark Zuckerberg, bro.
Now we're getting
I
into
hope that man gets a virus.
Oh my
A computer
god.
virus. A computer virus. What do you mean? A computer virus, bro.
shut down the whole
I
Facebook.
never wished ill on a man.
Oh,
Just his PC.
Say there goes our YouTube channel.
right? Man's just gotta shut down before we even got started.
Damn. No, he's cool though because he has a dog named Bitcoin or something like that. I think.
That's it. That's all. That's the only thing that does it for him.
Yeah,
The dog named Bitcoin.
it's crazy. I don't
Yo,
know. I feel like it goes back to that whole thing about like play and earn, right? Like if these companies have NFTs, if they have metaverses, if they have their own cryptocurrency, what's the way that they retain ownership on the economics, right? I feel like just a big, massive data company like Facebook, can they be trusted in this economy that we're building where it's supposed to be peer to peer? I don't know, man. I don't know if they stand for the same ethos. So that's why I'm a little apprehensive to give them a second chance. I think they kind of really killed the term metaverse by switching their name. I don't think we'll be calling it that in
I
5
hope
years.
not.
I think it's just like what's the difference between VR and metaverse? You could bring crypto with you. Like when we had VR
Right
for
now,
so many
nothing.
years, there's not. It's exactly
I
most
think,
people are just making VR and calling
yeah,
it metaverse. But fam, it's VR.
yeah. And yo, Facebook is actually super ahead apparently in that space than every other company. But I think, like you said earlier, sorry, I know you're about to say something, but like you said earlier, is different for everybody because I think that there are people who want that peer to peer, decentralized, maybe pseudo decentralized experience, and then there are people who just want to plug into the matrix and not have to think about anything and let the Facebook ads tell them what to do.
I think that's the majority of people. Like the majority of people don't care about the underlying tech. They don't know the difference between HTTP and HTTPS, and they frankly probably don't even know when they're on one or the other. But it's what it feels like. Like, can I take my assets off of this and bring them somewhere else? I think those are the main things that people are looking for. Like, can I log into this with a wallet? Any wallet or your wallet? Those are the little things. But like we saw in the Axie Infinity Ronin bridge hack, there's definitely some smoke and mirrors. Like, yeah, you got a side chain, yeah, you got crypto assets, but you got 9 validators. This is technically crypto, but like this is definitely not on the scale of Ethereum or Bitcoin, right? So we just have to, the people who know got to know and do your best to protect the ones that will listen to you. You can't force anybody to learn anything they don't want to, but like the key is education so that people don't end up getting rugged, getting snatched, like the frenzies or whatever you call those little
Frosties.
the
Frosties.
frosties. People will get snatched.
Bro, you said you're not a chain snatcher, but you've been advocating for
I'm not. I don't have to do the
chain
snatching to know
snatching.
what happens.
Yeah,
Like,
you got your snatchers out there.
hey,
But
bro.
speaking of metaverse, isn't that what kind of Bored Ape's next steps are? Like they're building, it's called the other side, and it's like some sort of metaverse or something like that.
Man, didn't they double dip? I swear they did an equity raise and a token at the same damn time.
Yeah, they went stupid.
Those boys so damn rich. They could pull up in Lambos and people would be like, "That's all." You guys only got Lambos. I paid you 100 ETH myself. Like,
Real.
well, yeah. What's their plans for the other side? I just saw a dope little video.
There are none yet, but at least to my knowledge. But they
Bunch of buzzwords.
yeah. With them, you never know. Because those guys are so far ahead of the game.
Yeah, they are
They're
the
like Usain
trendsetters.
Bolt. You know what I mean? So they probably have something up their sleeve. But I mean, for right now, with like the technology that's available, like who knows?
They got money though, so buy something, buy somebody that can build whatever you want to build.
Oh,
Even if you don't have the
yeah.
technical to do it right now, they have so much money. Just buy something.
Well, they partnered with Animoca brands. Is that what it's called? Animoca or something like that?
Is that the company that is with Nike?
That's a good question.
What's Animoca? Do they make
They're
clothing,
like a gaming,
right?
no, they make gaming. They're gaming brand. Like they
Sick.
make games.
They make like mobile games or something like that.
Yeah. So I think they're based out of China or Japan.
I saw. They have some pretty decent games. I remember looking it up. But
have you guys I know you probably haven't, Professor Sticks, but Courtney, have you looked at NFL All Day at all?
No, I have not. I have just a
Man,
bad taste in my mouth from maybe it's Top Shot, and I just refuse to give myself the hype.
they're coming out with a historic drop. And low key, like it's a low supply, and it's dope players, like Hall of Fame players, and I'm low key hype about it.
How much does it cost? How much does it
no,
cost?
Nobody knows yet, but look at some of the names: Marvin Harrison, Donald Driver, Brett Favre, Reggie White, Ricky Williams on the Dolphins, Greg Jennings, I broke my leg. You remember that, broke Jenny? Darren Sharper.
Put the team on my back.
Yeah. Charles Tillman. We got Thurman Thomas.
Why the hell do they have Jericho Cotchery though?
Randall, because you got to throw in somebody that people are going to be like, whatever.
Because the Jets didn't have nobody else. You couldn't put Vinny Testaverde.
They got Randall Cunningham.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Look, then there's only 75 of these. So, like, to me, I think that this guy's nasty. Look at him. These moments are cold too. For how this is in 1990, and the video quality on these moments is pretty good.
Relative to like the actual VHS.
Yeah,
I guess so. It definitely looks like Game Boy though.
Yeah, what it is. But they got 75. Like they're keeping the amounts low. So
what's the amount? Do you know?
I think it just matters. So like these probably would be like more of like the common ones for this drop. Although
gotcha.
But, so this
there'll be tiers.
Yeah, so this one's 7,000, right? Which is less than the 10,000 commons. But you know, Donald Driver, another good player.
That's
catching it from
play. That was the playoffs.
Yes, sir. You got Hall of Famers like Thurman Thomas, one of the best Bills players of all time. 1989 clip.
Yo, look at that cut block on 55. Jeez. Oh,
like people don't realize how cold these players were.
I hope they're getting paid.
I hope so too. Actually.
I think there's a deal with the PA. They have to have a deal with the PA to use the name, image, and likeness of players.
But do you remember
players getting paid?
Do you remember how cold Ricky Williams was?
Extra cold, super extra cold.
Oh man!
Like I want this, and there's only 1,000 of them.
Yo, look at that speed, the burst.
I remember this guy being like one of those big running backs that was like still fast and still agile.
Oh yes,
like one of the first.
And he watch this move right here.
Yep. And just turn on the Jets.
That was so subtle, but 22 got hit with the now you see me, now you don't.
I'm gonna pull up one more. They are. Then
wait, hold on.
What you trying to see?
Derek Brooks
right here.
Yeah, that's my dog, yo.
So there's gonna be 9,000 of these ones. Michael Vick's in the clip.
Ooh.
Fumble on Michael Vick.
I like it. I don't know. How much have these packs been going for, just in not the historical joints, but just
the commons have been going for 50 and the rares have been going for 250. So
I'm priced out, dog.
NFL all days they're making a decent bag so far. But to me, I feel like they're learning from what's it called? Top Shot, and they're not like trying to put too much out there.
If they do, it's over before it begins because we're smarter now.
Yeah, and I think they know that. Like Reggie White, bro, come on, man.
Man. All right. Anybody got questions in chat? We could answer those right now. We covered like pretty much all the hot topics for this, or last week, I should say. There's probably gonna be a whole lot of stuff going on this week. Now we're gonna have to cover next week.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the cool thing about the space. There's always stuff going on, so there's always opportunities for us to learn because we have to keep up with the market and the trends and the news and the rugs and the whatever. So we can come on and teach. But RM asked if the NFL is baseball. No, it's not.
But he said something. He said the Omni treadmills with the full body tracking and the VR.
I invested in that. Do you remember when I sent that to you?
Yes.
What's and Dom?
What's the status on those? Because those are so cold.
Yeah.
You're like basically inside of this like gated circle.
I'm pretty sure
it's like a 360 treadmill, and like you do shooter games where you actually like run.
That's lit.
And you have the VR headset, bro. It is like I'm sure if you played Resident Evil with that on, You're having
the time of your life.
you're having a rush.
It's a 360 treadmill that you're strapped into, and it's VR, so you're getting a workout. It's perfect for those parents that like, my kid sits on the game all day. Well, now he's running all day, right? Or she's running all day. So honestly, there hasn't been too many updates on it. They're steadily they're getting into arcades and these gaming places, and they're just kind of
it's probably hella cumbersome though. Like, is it like really big?
Hell yeah,
I have no actually I think they made it so you can put it basically anywhere. It like folds up and stuff.
Can they put it in an apartment in Toronto downtown?
Can you put anything in an apartment in Toronto downtown?
No.
I've been looking at places, and your bed is in your kitchen. I don't get that.
Yeah, and your closet is where your TV's in the closet.
So stupid,
fam. Bro. 400 square feet for like $2 million.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole nother story.
Shout out to Muhammad, who's just been in chat going crazy all night. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you, my guy. Shout out to
Dom. We had that green post in there. My dog, Lord Gallus, he's been watching from VR. He messaged in the Discord saying there's no chat in VR. So shout out to you.
No, he's watching us in VR.
He's watching us in VR. It's cold.
That's cold.
Wow.
You see,
so if you're still watching, shout out you.
The future, man, is gonna be it's gonna be dope. I'm here for it. I'm down to plug into the metaverse personally.
I would rather use the Microsoft Lens than the Oculus.
I hear you.
Is it like a contact?
No, it's a visor. It's like
a thing that you put up. But
glasses. It's like glasses.
It's gonna be a contact next.
Yeah, he's trying to go like where it doesn't look like you're somewhere, like you're just sitting in your living room, just
plugged in.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
Bro,
have you ever watched Black Mirror? They have
that's scary.
I mean, that episode's wild, but
we're
not the Street Fighter thing.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'm impressed. That's what Maz are trying to get their technology to be where it's just like it's a wearable, like you could be anywhere. Maz don't want those clunky things and you're trying to walk down the street.
Lord Gallus just popped in.
Yes, sir.
What's up? And then Muhammad said you can call him Aram.
Okay, bless.
So he'll be in here often. But shoot, if there's no questions, we appreciate you guys tuning in to our first live Crypto Night School on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Class is adjourned. Make sure you guys sub the channel if you haven't already.
Hit that like button. Follow Courtney on Twitter for sure, because that might be dropping ads, bro. But if you guys are into gaming, Warzone content, you can definitely follow me, Professor Sticks, JB.
If you like NFTs, mental health, random, corny jokes, follow me on Twitter at jbrescacin11. That's JBRESCACIN 11.
Bless. All of that will be in the description also. And yeah, next time, tell a friend to come through. Tuesdays, 10 p.m. We will be here.
Gang.
Any last things, guys?
Everybody have a great night. Stay safe.
Peace, y'all.